Hi, I'm Tracy Minogue-Nuku, founder of Sexy Aging, and here is one of my mobility practices. I do tap into yoga to help my body stay really mobile, but if yoga's not your thing, that's fine. Just remember you've got to do some stretching for your whole body to stay mobile and just be able to move well. As we age, our body does seize up both through the joints and the muscles, and therefore mobility training needs to come up the list of priorities of ways that you train. If you've never practiced yoga before, how about you just try this 15 minutes with me? Now today I'm focusing on the hips, like opening up the hips, and the reason for that is that as we do a lot of sitting, or we become less active, or we just notice that our backs become more sore, our knees become, you get a lot more pain in your knees from your other forms of exercise, it's super important to keep the hips mobile. So I have 3 ways that I train: strength, stability, mobility. And here is a mobility practice. So it's just 15 minutes. Shall we do it? All right, so we've got our yoga mat, and just come over onto your hands and knees. Just gonna push play on the timer, just so I don't cheat you. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips, and just tuck your toes under. From here, we're just going to do a little bit of cat-cow. So drop the belly, eyes come up, and then exhale, press into the hands, lift through the center of the back to the sky. And also I press into my toes so I get some stretching through my feet, because I do notice, take another inhale, I do notice that my feet get a little bit sore at night time. Exhale, press. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, press away. And come to center. We're going to take some hip circles. So lift the right knee and then just keep the foot flexed or relaxed. We're just going to rotate the leg around in circles. 5 circles forward and backwards. Take one direction first and then go the other way, just to loosen up that ball and socket. And maybe you notice some clicking or some banging or something there. Yeah? That's kind of normal. Our great history with exercise. Change legs, so circle it round. That's it, getting that blood flowing into the hip. Now go the other way. Keep the belly strong and the fingers integrated into the floor. And come back to center. Now we're just going to also switch on the belly. I also like to do some stability training wherever I am. So reach out your left arm and your right leg. Hold it there so you're focusing on balancing on the left knee and the right hand. From there, draw the right knee towards the left elbow and squeeze in, and then press it away. So you're going to exhale as you come in, and you're going to inhale as you lengthen. And try to keep your shoulder bones and your hip bones neutral when you stretch out. So as you lengthen out, everything feels stable. One more. Exhale and inhale to lengthen. All right, drop and change sides. So it's right arm reaches, left foot back. Here we go. Exhale to squeeze. Inhale to reach. Exhale to squeeze. When you stretch that leg out, you don't want to reach it higher than the hips. Keep it level with the hips. And lengthen. And take one more. Awesome. And then come down, hands and knees to the floor. From here, just push back into your downward facing dog. So if you've never done a down dog before, your feet are hip distance apart. You reach your hands nice and long, stretching out through your fingers. Now press through the palms and your finger pads to push your body backwards. So your hips are really high. And bend your knees, because this is the first downward facing dog. So we don't want to be too extreme. Draw in through the belly. Think of tilting through the pelvis. So you feel the back of the legs, that right at the top of your hamstrings lengthen. And think of your armpits pushing down towards your quads, towards your thighs. Lengthen through the spine. Now we're going to look forward, bend your knees, and bring your right foot outside your right hand. And if you can't quite get it there, grab it and take it to where it will land. We're not here for long, so we're just doing a bit of mobility work through the hips, and then push back through down dog. And then go left side. And push back. So right side, step it outside the hand if you get there. If you don't, doesn't matter, no one's watching, it's your body. Remember, we're doing these things to make ourselves feel good, our body feel good, and not to compare. Those days are done. Reach forward and press back. And reach forward and press back. And let's do one more each way. And reach forward and press back. Hold it here for a moment and breathe. Okay, taking it into a three-legged dog. So you're going to lift your right leg up, and if you lift it up and you get to here, that's fine. If you get to go a little bit further, that's cool. Hold it there, and then bring the knee forward and step the foot between the hands and grab that foot if you need some help. Okay, so we're just going to hold it here in a low lunge and then drop the back knee, release the back toes, and come on up into a kneeling lunge. Now, if you do have patella knee pain, you can fold your mat up a few times and just rest your knee there. Okay? Cool. Otherwise, pressing into the front heel to engage through the midline of your body, your inner thighs, and then pressing with your hands, just lift your chest up. We want to open up the front of the hip. Now, the hip joint needs to be opened up through like almost a 360 action, okay? Front of the hip, side of the hip, back of the hip. So 180. Press and open. Good, hold it there. Just breathe into that hip. Okay, take your arms up, inhale, breath. We're going to go a little bit deeper. Now, you've got your left leg behind you, your right leg in front. If you've got it the other way around, then you're going to do the other way with your hands. Your right hand grabs your left wrist, and then you just draw your body over your front knee. So lifting across to the side. So you're getting more length down the side of your body and into that hip. Breathe it there. Come back to center. Inhale, breath. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Push back through downward facing dog and just walk it out. So just ease your legs out. So you can do this in between any pose. It's what we call walk the dog. Now we're going to lift the left leg up. So remember, if you get to there, hold it there, press into your hands. If you get to take it a little bit higher, go for it. And then draw the knee in and step the leg forward. Okay? Hold it here, come up onto your finger pads and lengthen through the chest. Breathe. Drop that back knee down and come on up. That's it. Now release the back toes this time. Just settle into that hip stretch. Take a nice deep breath. Send your breath into any areas that feel really tight in your body. Nice deep breathing. Then take an inhale, reach the arms up. And this time we're going to grab the right wrist and reach it over, stretching out through the side of your body, down through your rib cage, right into your hip flexors. Maintaining the breath. And then come back to center. Deep inhale. Exhale, hands down to the floor, pushing back through your down dog. Hold and breathe. Just release down the back of the thighs. That feels really good. Okay, coming back to that three-legged dog. Right leg lifts up. Inhale, lift. And then this time, exhale and place the right foot outside the right hand like we did through the warm-up. Okay, so the foot is flexed and it's outside the mat. Drop the back knee, and then this time we're going to release the back foot and gently press the foot to the outside of the foot. Okay, so the big toe is lifted, and then press the right elbow to the inner right knee. So you're starting to get some external rotation. Now, the external rotation is the key to alleviating your hip and back pain. So if you do a lot of running, cycling, walking, hiking, you'll notice that your hips get really, really tight. And if you don't do this external rotation as you age, you will find that you'll get injured. Super important. The other thing is it just helps you relax. And I find it helps me sleep better. So if I do some external hip releases and lower back releases, I definitely sleep better. So gently pressing into the outside of the foot. Nice deep breath. And then bring the hand down. Tuck the back toe under. Now you're going to lift the back knee and send the right foot straight back. Three-legged dog. So we're not done with this side. Since we've warmed it up, we're going to bring the knee forward into what we call swan pose. I'm going to give an option for those that cannot take this quite extreme knee angle, but I'll set it up first so you've got swan pose here for anyone that is practicing yoga. If you're not, you're here. So you sit down onto your right hip, you square your feet into a 90-90 position, and then turn your chest over your right knee and allow yourself to drop forward and feel that luscious opening through the hip. Okay, so your hip opener is here. Or if you're in swan pose, that back leg is straight, the toes are tucked under. Lift up and stay nice and tall. Your option to go deeper is to bring your elbows to the floor or to reach yourself out fully. Okay, so you've got that full external rotation now. So if it feels super tight, try not to fight it. I think one of the things we do is if we feel that our muscles are really tight, we make the rest of our body really tight. We're going, oh, this feels not great, so I need to like clamp up a little bit. But the key to opening up and lengthening the muscles is actually to try to actively relax. Okay, bring the hands back. That's that right side done. Tuck the back toes and then push it back into downward facing dog, walk the feet. One side feels amazing. Pressing into the hands. Okay, left leg's going up, here we go. Lift that left leg, and then this time you're going to step the left foot outside the left hand. Drop the right knee, and then pressing with the elbow, open up. Oh, beautiful birds. I love working out in nature. So just pressing and opening through the hip. So wherever you are in the world, maybe it's spring, but it's autumn here in New Zealand, so we're getting the last of the summer heat. So any chance I can get, I'll do a workout outside. Take on the sun, that first sun in the morning, which helps to reset my hormones. Okay, release. We are lifting the left leg straight back into that down dog, three-legged dog, and then coming forward, knee to the floor, or your 90-degree angle here. Okay, so take the one that works for you. Inhale, lift. Nice deep breath. Now the goal is to actually try to get the hip low to the floor, but not by letting the back hip lift. Okay, the back hip needs to square to face the front of the mat. And exhale, come on down. So if you're wondering, like, you've never practiced yoga and you're thinking, you know, how long are we here? I think of it as 5 to 7 deep breaths, especially if I'm trying to actively release a muscle. So if you want to switch off from what I'm saying and just focus on counting through your breaths, you do that. 2 more breaths. And slide the hands back. Tuck the back toes under and then push back into your downward facing dog, and just finish that by walking the feet. All right, come down onto your hands and knees, and then sitting on your tailbone, sitting up nice and tall. Bring the soles of the feet together. We're just taking it into a cobbler pose to open up the inner thighs. Now that we've done the external rotation, that feels really good. So let the knees drop down, lift up through the chest and just soften through the face. This is a wonderful pose. For those of you who have that mobility in your hips, just allow yourself to drop forward. That would not be me. I'm pretty happy with where things are, considering I still run. Low intensity, steady state running, of course, but it's still quite tightening for the hips. So this is pretty good. This feels nice. All right, we're going to take it over onto our back. So bring the knees together. Come over onto your back and just roll back. Hug the knees in to start with. And then we're going to I'm going to give you two options here. This one is amazing, one of my favorite hip openers. Take your left knee over your right knee so you're crossing legs, like you're sitting in a chair with legs crossed. And then reach up and grab to the outside of your ankles. It's called lying cow face pose. And then sink your tailbone down and then draw your shoulders back. Now the goal is to pull the ankles away from each other, and you'll feel that hip opening in your left side. Okay, so once again, if it's a knee thing for you, bring it back down to what we call figure 4. So the left ankle is on the right knee and you can reach through. And if this is also tough on your knees, keep the right foot down and press to the left knee so you externally rotate. So I lied, you've got 3 options. I'm going to take this option, it feels awesome. I feel that when I get my tailbone to the floor, that my hips have opened significantly or enough to help me feel really good for the day. If my tailbone doesn't come to the floor, it means that I've been doing a lot of exercise and I need more mobility. Take a deep breath and exhale, bring the knees together, hug the knees in and switch it over. Reach forward. Now you know your options, right? So figure 4, either threading the needle or the foot stays on the floor. It's sunny and bright and I'm lying down on a mat and I'm doing one of my favorite stretches. I'm just having a moment. Oh, it's so good. Life is good. And it feels awesome to have this sensation of being able to move and move well and really take care of our bodies, because that's the goal, right? Take another deep breath. Draw the knees in. And we're just going to finish today's mobility practice with a pose that I tend to always do at the end. Just reach out your left knee, hug your right knee in, and just scooch the hips over to the right a little bit. Draw the knee across the body, and then if you can, reach that right arm back. Just a gentle twist for the lower spine to integrate all those wonderful hip opening stretches into your body, releasing through your upper back and your lower back. And then just switch sides. So right leg comes down, left knee to the chest, lift your hips to the left side and reach it over. I think I might just stay here. I might just stay and catch some rays. I'm going to put on 50 plus sunblock and a cap. Just breathe. And then hug the knees in. Oh, so good. You can either lie out into Shavasana or sunbathing pose as the sun demands, or come on up with me. Just bring your hands to your heart and being grateful for our bodies, really taking care of our bodies, being mindful of what your body needs. Namaste.